Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kike.
And welcome to FSU Weather. Today we had another warm day, a lot warmer than usual.
Yeah, it's like a second round of Monday today, you know, and cloudy skies continue. And we did see a few peaks of sunshine that helped temperatures get very warm ahead of a line of thunderstorms. So we did see really warm conditions today, much warmer than what it normally is this time of year. And now some rain is moving through and the temperatures are already falling really quickly.
Yeah, we actually made it to 80 degrees today, and the temperatures again will fall very quickly. We'll get into the 40s tonight after that rain passes through later.
Yeah, so we're going to go from the 80s to the 40s in just about 6 hours there. So that's a big change coming up. This cold front is very powerful. It's going to be moving through overnight tonight, and then tomorrow we could see cooler conditions with sunshine finally returning to the area. So we've been in this cloudiness for quite some time. We've seen a lot of fog recently, but the sunshine is coming back.
Yeah, I feel like Florida's been really confused on what season it is lately. We saw really warm weather, and today almost felt very summer-like. It was very humid, those peaks of sunshine, but mostly cloudy skies where it looked like it was going to rain all day, and it finally did later today.
Yep. And we also have a look at our temperature forecast coming up for the next couple of weeks as well later on in the show. For the next 6 to 10 days, we're going to see what the trend is overall for most of the country.
Yeah, let's take a look at our live camera right now. We have looking at Doak Campbell Stadium and sunset cam, but not seeing much of a sunset because clouds are in the way. And we also see those water droplets on the screen from the rain we saw moving through the area, and we still have that chance of rain as we go into the evening. Here's a look at the current radar. Some heavier showers making their way through. We aren't seeing any lightning being detected on the radar, but can't rule out that possibility as we go into the night, but mostly just some showers, and you can see some lighter showers moving in back behind this. Zooming in, that's all because of the cold front that's moving through, and behind that you see those clear skies and that high pressure. So that's what we'll see the next couple of days, but behind my shoulder you can already see the next system making its way through. Over the next couple of days, sunny skies will continue Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the 60s, a high of 64 tomorrow on Wednesday and 69 for Thursday, but Friday those rain chances return with that 40% chance of rain, and we also can't rule out the possibility of some thunderstorms. For tonight's show, we'll talk about the rain that will end tonight. It will go into the overnight hours, and we'll keep the chance of some spotty showers, but by the time you wake up tomorrow, that rain will have cleared through. The drier and cooler conditions will continue into the next couple of days, Thursday and Wednesday into Thursday, but the rain chances will return over the weekend as the next cold front moves through, and we'll have that greater chance of some thunderstorms also making its way through. But for now, I'm going to hand things off to Dylan with a look at our local.
Thank you very much, Brittany. Well, comparing today towards other days, we're going to look at the almanac, and we see that our high today was 80 degrees if it's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Nope, okay, that's not the almanac. We're just having some graphics issues right now. We're going to fix this as I talk. But our high today was 80 degrees, and with that high of 80 degrees, we are below our record high of 82, sorry. And looking at it, we're going to, here's current temperatures around the region. Well, we're going to look at with the rain right now. We see that we're cooler now than what our high was of 80 degrees due to this cooler temp, the rain cooling things off quite quickly. The only spot in the 70s is Perry at 70 degrees right now, but you can see much of the eastern part or the western part of our viewing areas seeing those 60-degree temperatures stick around for now. Going into our wind speed and direction, you can start to see where this front is. If we are in our meteorology class, we usually talk about where the kink is and drawing the front there. And that kink right here, you would draw the front down this way. And that's why we see some higher wind gusts and wind speeds ahead of the front. We're seeing 16 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, 12 in Quincy, and you see some gustier conditions farther north into our viewing area. Now going into our dew points, well, we got a little bit of moisture surging up with those winds out of the south. You have some moisture coming up into our area. And behind, we're going to see sort of a change coming later, though you can start to see the lighter colors, the lower dew points moving into our area tonight and see those drier conditions stick around. Here's that front we've been talking, Brittany pointed it out, and it's kind of in that area where we drew that little bit. You can start to see rain situated over Tallahassee, a lot of rain behind these initial storms that we've seen, and as we zoom in, you can see that the stronger storms are making its way through. A little bit of them are falling apart. Farther south of Tallahassee, though, they're a little more confined and a little more defined as well. But then behind that, you still have this blanket of rain that we're going to deal with all night and into tomorrow morning, early hours of tomorrow morning. Cloud cover, though, going to be present throughout this entire system. Into tonight, you start to see the cooler temperatures. We drop down to 45. We had a high of 80 today. We're going to drop down to 45 tomorrow morning. That is almost a 40-degree drop. It's a 35-degree drop. And we start to see the cool temperatures really set in for the next day as we have rain showers, though still possible. The hot spot, though, Perry, just only a 3-degree increase, but still not bad, getting colder, and you might want to turn on the heat if you're not used to these cold temperatures. As we go into the next 24 hours, you can see the rain and clouds sticking around, but these aren't stronger storms. Into midnight, we still have a blanket of rain, but these are just light rain, not too intense, nothing too bad, not a thunderstorm possible. But as we go into the early morning hours, you can start to see the rain clear out and the clouds clear out as well. Waking up tomorrow with a little bit of clouds, but as we get into the afternoon, perfect day. Sun gonna be out. Get those sunny conditions. Might get your tan on tomorrow, but it's a little cold if you want to go out to tan for a little bit. Into our day planner, waking up to 48 degrees, might need a layer or two, then in 57 by noon and 64 by 4 p.m. Depending on how you want to dress, you can dress plenty of ways. Might need a jacket, then might need to take it off by the afternoon. And for the week ahead, you have sunny skies sticking around Wednesday and Thursday. The rain chances come back in, as Brittany pointed out, with that next system, and sticking around with those rain chances Saturday and Sunday, then clearing out for one day on Monday, and then back to the stormy conditions on Tuesday. Now let's send it over to Brantley with the Southeast.
All right, thanks, Dylan. We are going to look here at a little bit broader picture of what's going on. Our temperatures across the southeast right now are pretty warm for Florida and a little bit cooler as we head into the central part of the United States there. And where we see these green colors, that's where temperatures are starting to dip into the 50s and into the 40s in the blue there. The yellow and orange color over Florida, that's where temperatures are generally in the 70s or higher. And so we are seeing some cloud cover ahead of this cold front and sunshine far behind it there over Shreveport, Little Rock, and Jackson. We could see the sunshine again tomorrow in those areas, and then that sunshine will spread over to us as well here in Tallahassee. And as we go into our dew points, we see things are very dry behind the cold front, very damp ahead of it, though. We see moisture surging off the Gulf of Mexico into Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville. Very high dew points for those areas right now, and that's going to help add fuel to these thunderstorms that are moving towards that coast. Meanwhile, behind the cold front, dry conditions now settling in thanks to high pressure taking control of the area. Winds coming off the Gulf ahead of the frontal system here, helping fuel some moisture into it. The warm air also still going in ahead of that front there. After the front passes, though, the winds will switch back around and come out of the northwest. Our satellite radar shows this system stretching all the way down from the Gulf of Mexico up to Canada. This low pressure system right now moving over Indiana and Illinois, and it will move off into Canada in the next day or so, and that will help drag this front off into the Atlantic and leave us with much drier and cooler air. We could see a few rain showers to persist for places like Georgia and South Carolina into the overnight hours, maybe even into the early morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, we should see all this cloud cover clear out as well as the rain. But places like South Florida and Tampa, Orlando, they will start to see these thunderstorms get a little bit more organized in the overnight hours. And that's when they'll start to see these storms probably around 3 or 4 in the morning, late tonight into tomorrow. And those storms could be strong as they hit that coast there. All right, we do have a few severe alerts to talk about. We have some flood warnings here in the green color for some rivers in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And along the coast, we do have some pretty high surf and seas right now. Our next 24 hours, we do see this storm system moving along the coast there of the west coast of Florida around 3 a.m. And then by 10 a.m. we see some pretty organized thunderstorms moving into south and central Florida. But by the afternoon, all of that rain is out of the area. Tonight's forecast, we're seeing temperatures drop pretty quickly as this front passes. 45 for Tallahassee, 46 for New Orleans, 33 for Little Rock, pretty getting close to that freezing mark. Tomorrow, though, sunshine returns for most of the southeast, except for Florida, and then we'll see temperatures going back into the 60s. Now we're going to take it back over to the desk with Dylan and Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Brantley. And we're going to talk about what our next system on the weekend is going to be. It's actually right now in California.
Yeah, it's actually going to make an impact to California. So before it gets to us and impacts us this weekend with some more rain, we're going to talk about what it's going to do to California today and tomorrow.
Yeah, every 4 days we're talking about the same thing. Heavy rain along the coastline, at least 1 to 2 inches up in San Francisco and into Sacramento, and then the Sierra Nevada mountains, you get the snow.
Yeah, if temperatures are a little warmer, though, you might get a bit of a mix of conditions, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, so it depends on where you are.
Yeah, and because of the melting snow and with the rain on top of that, you might get some river and stream flooding with those rivers and streams coming down the mountains.
Yeah, there probably will be some winter weather advisories. We'll look at that in the national coming up just after this, but we're going to look into that a little more.
Yeah, and so again, up in Sierra Nevada mountains, we're expecting 3 to 6 inches of, not inches, feet of snow
That's,
so in the mountains.
Yeah, no, not at the lower levels. If Los Angeles was getting snow at this time of year, people would be panicking. I mean,
Yeah.
when it rains in Los Angeles, folks don't know what to do. They don't understand what weather really is.
Yeah, speaking about Los Angeles, they're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain, and the timing of it is not the best. Wednesday into Thursday, we do have some important events in Los Angeles.
Yeah, there's some important events all the time that are going on in Los Angeles. Some award shows going on. It is award season in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we also have a very nice activity happening there this weekend. We'll have the forecast for you later in the week. But a lot of stuff going on in California, and that system is going to go into the center part of the country and affect us as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, but take a look at what that system's going to do. I'm going to take it out with the national and show that the current conditions in the national area, well, we can look at the southeast for right now for tomorrow's forecast, but looking at tomorrow's today's current temperatures here in the national forecast, well, you got to see where the front is. You see the dipping of the colder air into the parts of the eastern part of the country. Here in Tallahassee, though, seeing just a bit of rain, and out west, we see that next system bringing rain and snow to Seattle over there. Going into your dew points, a very well-defined area of where the front is. You see this uplift of moisture over into the southeast and then the drier conditions behind it. Well, that's indicating where the front is, and you see dew points into 17 behind it, 20 in Kansas City, 32 in Memphis, and you start to see this peak of the greener colors over by Seattle. That's indicating that next bit of moisture is coming through. Going into the national look, you have this low pressure bringing a lot of rain, snow, and mix over into the northeast, and that's really the big story. But we do have some strong storms that are offshore over with the frontal system as well. Zooming up into the northeast, you see this rain-snow mix, a lot of mix going on. Parts of Boston, New Hampshire, Vermont seeing a lot of snow right now. And this is really affecting a lot of the eastern part of the country that's already seen a lot of snow. These snow values, though, are not helping the Great Lakes. We're going to see all-time records in terms of rainfall. We've seen system after system come through this area, so bringing a lot of rainfall, snow into Chicago, Minneapolis, and a lot of the western parts behind the low-pressure system. And with that, in the area where you see more rain than snow, you're going to get some flash flood watches into there, into parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and parts of Kentucky as well. Then going on into the winds, well, you have some high wind alerts and wind advisories, so it is very gusty out there behind the low pressure system as you see the turn from a southerly wind into turn from a northerly wind to a southerly wind. You start to see those high wind areas and some high wind warnings as well. Going out into the west coast, this is what we're talking about. You can start to see the rainfall and the snow and the mix into the mountains. You can kind of see the defining feature where the mountains are as it's getting lifted up. It's able to cool off and you get these snow values and some mixed, but then you have a bit of rain down into parts of northern California. And with that, you do have the winter weather advisories stretching all the way out west. You see that there with that system that's going to bring our rainfall totals into the weekend. Going out into the east, though, the low pressure system is situated right here, and then you have some winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings ahead of that low pressure system and behind, but the farther south you go, you don't see that wintry precipitation, so you're not seeing those advisories out. As we go into tonight's forecast, that front moves its way off eastward, and the cold really sets in, seeing very snowy conditions in Chicago and Detroit, windy as well. And then into tomorrow, we start to see the warming back up as that front has moved out just a bit. You're starting to see temperatures rebound tomorrow, but the cold is settling into the northeastern part of the country. But right now, I'm going to send it over to Brittany to take a little local look and see how we're going to be affected by this frontal system.
Well, first, Dylan, I'm just really shocked right now that Los Angeles is getting rain and Seattle is actually seeing some sunny skies for tomorrow. That's a bit different. But going back into more locally, looking at our sunset cam, clouds are still in the viewing, and we do have that chance of rain. As you can see, those spotty raindrops on the camera still. We will have that chance of rain as we go in throughout the night. Currently 64 degrees, some showers lingering around in the area. The wind's starting to make that northwest turn and pretty gusty at times, up to 23 miles per hour. And temperatures across the area pretty similar, 64 for Tallahassee, slightly warmer down in Perry at 70 degrees, and Thomasville is cooled off down to 61 degrees. And those dew points, it's feeling muggy out there. Like I said before, it felt like a summer day today, a 59-degree dew point right now in Tallahassee, and a 69-degree dew point in Perry. That's feeling extremely muggy, and that all came along as we have this southerly flow of the wind out ahead of the cold front as it approaches, and it's pretty breezy. 16 miles per hour is our sustained wind in Tallahassee, 12 miles per hour in Quincy, and 13 in Monticello, and these winds will continue to pick up as this cold front continues to approach. We did have a heavy band of rain move through the Tallahassee area, starting to move east, but there's still some rain off behind that. So if you have any plans tonight, keep that umbrella on you because all this rain is still heading our way. And that's because of the cold front moving through. You can see a very fine line of where that cold front is ahead of the rain out ahead of it, and behind that, clear skies. So if you're not a fan of this rain, just hold off. Tomorrow will be a beautiful day going into Friday as we keep in those chances. Looking at your stargazing forecast, not the ideal night. We're giving those viewing conditions a poor, that red star, because of that chance of showers, and it will also be very cloudy as we go into the night. But sun is setting just about right now, and that sunrise is at 7:20 tomorrow. If you want to walk your dog tomorrow, waking up, it will be chilly. As I said, we had that high of 80 today, and when you wake up tomorrow, 47 degrees is that forecast, and we'll stay into the 40s as we go into 9 a.m. So it will be chilly if you're walking your dog. Keep that jacket on you, and by 11 a.m. we'll be in those upper 50s, and that sun will stick around throughout the day. Looking at the week ahead, you can see temperatures staying in the 60s, 64 for Wednesday and Thursday at 69 degrees, a low of 39 for Wednesday. Rain chances return on Friday, and as we go into the weekend, the rain chances will also return, and going into the next week, we'll keep those 70s around. And we've had a really warm pattern out here lately, and that will continue. If we look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, you can see warmer than average temperatures will stick around in the southeast, but a chunk of the country is going to see those colder than average temperatures that we have as we have those systems move through, bringing in that cold Arctic air into most of the country, but the southeast wants to be left out. We're going to stick with those warmer conditions, especially when we get into next week. So the groundhog said spring's coming early, maybe for the southeast, but not looking likely for the northeast. So for now, I'm going to send things over to Brantley and Dylan.
Thank you very much, Brittany. Well, the Forest Service in California has released their study on the amount of trees that have died this year compared to other years.
Yeah, so since 2010, they've been in a drought that officially ended in 2016 or 2017, and millions of trees have died since then.
Yeah, it was 147 million trees died in that period. But this year, though, we only lost 18 million trees. Comparing that to past years, though, in 2016, we lost 62 million trees, and then in 2017, 27 million trees. So we're making an improvement in the amount of trees that have died.
Yeah, even though we did have several wildfires in California this past year, some of them the largest in state history. I know the Camp Fire there was burned over 137,000 acres. That's which is about the size of Chicago. You know, it did burn a lot of trees, but the drought is the main cause of this loss.
Yeah, it also factors into the bark beetles infestation, so they prey on less healthy trees, and with that drought, though, they've not been as healthy. So then with this year seeing an improvement, because we've seen some healthier trees and a little bit more rainfall because of the drought ending, we've seen some better conditions for the trees.
Well, that's pretty good there. So we did see the drought end in 2017, but this year the rainfall has been a little bit less than normal. So we are seeing some very slow growth with the trees right now in this year. So that's not too great of news there. But as Brittany just said, there is some rain over in Los Angeles right now. So maybe they're getting some help over there.
Yeah, there is a fear of mudslides if there's some dirt sticking around still. Not a big factor in this situation, but still rain is a good thing for California, and this is its rainy season right now in the winter.
Yeah, I know a big concern, especially after all those wildfires, is the mudslides and debris flows. If there is flash flooding, you know, some debris from those dead trees and limbs or just damage from the wildfires could flow in a flash flood. So that is very dangerous over there. Yeah,
the Forest Service also has said that this year they have restored 313,000 acres of land despite the wildfire. They're cutting down dead trees and less lively trees because they don't want the threat of wildfire to spread on these dead trees.
Oh, well, I think that they have an incredible effort over there. But now we're going to take things back out to the wall with Michael with a look around the state of Florida.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We're going to go back to a little warmer and depending on where you are, a wetter look, especially in the Panhandle. That cold front is moving through the panhandle right now, so 60 in Pensacola, 64 in Tallahassee, both under rainy conditions. But ahead of that cold front we've been tracking for the entire show, you see temperatures rather warm for this time of night. 77 in Gainesville, 75 in Tampa, and 77 in Fort Myers and West Palm Beach. Now you can also tell where that cold front is based on the winds. Look at the convergence of these winds, basically right over Tallahassee at 16 miles per hour. Southerly winds ahead of that in both Tampa, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Fort Myers, just to name a few of the locations in the peninsula. But in Pensacola, since you're behind that cold front, winds are coming from the north, and that's what's causing still a little bit of rain behind this cold front, but that's what's going to bring in the cooler air as we head into the overnight hours in Pensacola. Now, as we take a look at the dew points, you'll see that it's very comfortable in Pensacola. That's because you're behind the cold front, and the dew points are going to continue to drop as we go into the nighttime hours. But if you're ahead of the front, you can tell by these emojis, it is not very nice outside. It feels more summer-like in terms of your dew points across the panhandle and into the peninsula, especially. And then going down into Tampa and into Miami, very, very humid condition. That is a frowny face down towards Miami. All due to this cold front. Again, that's what's bringing up the humid air ahead of the system. But once this cold front moves throughout the state as we go into tomorrow, high pressure you see behind me in Denver will move in, and that's going to give it some drier and cooler conditions for the east as well as the Sunshine State. But for now, we have to deal with these showers and thunderstorms ahead of the cold front and the actual cold front itself moving through the panhandle of Florida as we speak. But for tonight's forecast, you'll notice that Pensacola and Tallahassee expecting some rain, but once that rain ends, the temperatures are going to drop well into the 40s with 43 in Pensacola, 45 in Tallahassee. In the peninsula, you'll be ahead of that cold front still, so temperatures will be warmer overnight into the middle 50s and into the low 60s, with 70s down towards the extreme parts of southern Florida. Now for your rain chances going into tomorrow, you see the cold front moving through Tallahassee around the 11 o'clock to midnight hour, and then it will move down towards Tampa as we head into the 3 o'clock into 4 o'clock time range. And as we head down towards southern Florida, that's when you'll get your rain chances due to the cold front into the early morning hours and especially into the afternoon on your Wednesday. Now going into tomorrow's forecast, you'll notice that conditions start to clear as you go into the panhandle with temperatures much cooler into the mid-60s, while the rain chances start to decrease as you go from north to south across the peninsula, with temperatures also cooler into the middle 60s due to all the cloud cover and the cooler air filtering behind that cold front. But for now, we're going to send it off to Brantley with a final look at our local forecast.
All right, thanks, Michael. Our almanac right now, we are seeing that the temperatures today were very warm for this time of the year. We saw a high temperature of about 80 degrees, which is about 13 degrees higher than our normal high temperature for this year. Our low around 57 degrees, which is up from a normal of about 41. So very warm for today. We're going to return to more seasonable values tomorrow. Currently 64 degrees in Tallahassee with some light showers. Winds are getting gusty though, up to 23 miles per hour out of the northwest. Temperatures have already started to cool down because of this cold front that's on the way. 64 for Tallahassee, 65 for Apalachicola. Quincy is down to 61 degrees already, as well as Thomasville. And our dew points are already starting to drop a little bit as well. We saw dew points earlier today in the 60s. Now we're down into the 50s. Still very humid outside, but conditions will become much drier by tomorrow. Our winds still coming off the Gulf out of the south or southwest, so we are going to see this moisture continue to surge into the area, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours as well. We do have this main line of thunderstorms right now that's moving past Tallahassee, and after this moves through, we will see a break in this area here for several hours, but then rain will return to the area late tonight about after 10 p.m. So a large area of light rain will be moving through again even after this break does occur, so we will see more rain as we go into the overnight hours, but by tomorrow morning most of that rain will be out of here around 5 a.m. and that's when that main cold front does come through. So even though we are seeing some cooler temperatures right now, the main cold front will not be coming through until tomorrow morning, and that's when we'll start to see drier conditions with sunny skies. So tonight, a 60% chance of showers, and we will see rain chances maybe even a little bit higher than that. We could see rain chances up to 80 or 90%. Tomorrow, very chilly as you head out the door, at 48 degrees there. By noon, up to 57, and then by 4 p.m., we'll be holding on to our high temperature of about 64 degrees. If you're headed out on the water, things should be calming down a little bit. We are seeing pretty choppy conditions out there today, but tomorrow, 2 to 3 feet, so a light chop on the seas, sunny skies with a coastal high of around 61. The week ahead, we see temperatures start to gradually warm back up as we head into the weekend there when we get into the 70s. And then Monday and Tuesday, we hang on to the 70s as a warm front pushes through the area. Our next main cold front will be coming through early next week, helping bring temperatures back down to normal temperatures for this time of the year. Now we're going to take things back over to the desk with Brittany and Michael.
Thanks, Brantley. I can't get over how beautiful Wednesday and Thursday look.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous behind that cold front, but a little bit chilly, kind of a little shock to the system given how warm it's been the last 2 weeks.
For sure, but I think the mid-60s are my ideal perfect day
Yeah,
temperature.
that's where we should be for February. The last 2 weeks, it's felt more like April and May rather than February.
We were really close to breaking our record also today. That high of 80 with that record of 82 degrees for today. Seriously, really close to that record.
Yeah, but you can see temperatures are already dropping. We're going to get to that low of 46 tonight. And temperatures are going to be pretty, again, average for this time of year with sunny skies Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, and it's a perfect day to go out and support the men's basketball team on Wednesday. And we also have some other sporting events going on this weekend.
Yeah, men's basketball is playing Wake Forest at 7 tomorrow. And then don't forget, Friday through Sunday is opening weekend for FSU baseball. They're playing the Maine Black Bears, so a very snowy area of the country. But it will be a very interesting series to open baseball. Mike Martin's last year at Florida State.
Oh, wow. And also women's basketball we have this Sunday, I believe?
Yep, Sunday. I know we're playing Pittsburgh. It's Sunday afternoon. And it's actually the everyone's going to be wearing pink for, I don't really know why they're wearing pink, but I think it's for breast cancer, but they're wearing pink on Sunday against Pitt.
Well, whatever they're supporting, I'm sure it's for a very good cause. So
Yeah.
go out and support your women's basketball team on Sunday.
Yeah, but temperatures are going to be actually warming up as we head towards the weekend for all those activities. Actually well above average again for this time of year with that next cold front right now along the west coast of the U.S.
Yeah, Florida will stick with those warmer than average temperatures while the rest of the country is going to see those colder than average temperatures going to the next week.
Yeah, and that's been the story for a few weeks now. That pattern's been pretty stagnant, and we're not expecting it to change anytime soon. But don't forget to follow us on Twitter, that URL, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
Also, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And as I say every time I'm on the show, don't forget we live stream on YouTube every weeknight at 6.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
So again, prepare for the chilly conditions the next few days behind the cold front, but it's going to be feeling seasonal. So actually take advantage of those nice conditions feeling like February. For all of us, I'm student meteorologist Michael Anand.
And I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.